Ubisoft. Everyone who's played Watch Dogs has already dinged this game for the stupid underscore in the title, so I'm going to ding it for not including an .com at the end. Cyberpunk. Not the worst genre in science fiction, but I think we can all agree its heyday ended in the 90s. Shoulder bump character introduction. Haven't seen that one used in a while. Probably for good reason. Also, if this game is going to use all these graphical glitch filters, I'm going to start getting Assassin's Creed Unity flashbacks. Deus Ex didn't feel the need to remind you it was a cyberpunk game with this filter bullshit, and what's good enough for Deus Ex is good enough for everyone.
Okay, I'm in the lobby of the Milan.
Alright, let's do it.
I'm hacking in.
Hacking is easy when it uses a simple graphical interface, as opposed to lines of code on a monitor. Also, for a game all about hacking, Aiden is nothing more than a glorified script kiddie who uses pre-made hacking programs. He's as close to being a hacker as the kid using an aimbot in Counter-Strike. Also, how the hell did you get that hacking app through the App Store? The allure of cybercrime is that you can steal someone's files or money from the other side of the planet without having to go anywhere. Standing in the lobby of the place you're hacking with a phone app sort of defeats the whole idea. Since you're basically doing this analog, might as well hand the desk clerk a note demanding all the valuables.
Look at that. Secrets and lies floating in a cloud of data. I just reach out, pluck it from the sky, and it's mine.
And you obviously know this since you're a hacker too, but I have to remind you for the sake of the audience in case they don't understand what hacking is.
How much we got? 100 grand in 30 seconds. God bless the rich and famous.
I like the idea that it takes time to digitally transfer money a few $100 at a time, rather than all at once. Wait, did I say I like that? I meant dislike. That's just stupid.
We are the modern day magicians, siphoning bank accounts out of thin air.
We speak like we know we're in the opening cutscene and need to get across as much information as possible.
What was that?
Oh no, my hacking went fuzzy. That's bad, right?
Shit. It's scanning the system.
They're using hacking sonar. This might be the dumbest interpretation of hacking since Live Free or Die Hard.
We are not done. Help me.
Damien, it's over. I'm disconnected.
Again, why are you even there? Damien is quite clearly remotely connected to their network. You and your phone seem pretty redundant at this point. Cyberpunk requires the wearing of trench coats. Them's the rules. If it was winter, I could understand wearing that many layers in Chicago, but this game takes place in either spring or summer. Aiden has got to be burning up.
Look, man. Even if I knew a name, you couldn't get me talking. These guys. I heard stories, man, that like nothing you ever seen before.
I don't think this warning has ever once lived up to the hype. The bad guys always end up being something that's been seen 100 times over.
I can't keep running. I can't do it. That fucking Aiden Pierce. I killed his niece. He won't stop chasing me.
It's 2015. Have we really not moved away from using audio logs to fill in character backstory? No one makes audio diaries. Stop trying to convince me otherwise.
Shit!
Where the hell you been?
What?
He's talking to me.
There's a prime example of off-screen teleportation if I ever saw one. This guy just came around the corner, then Jordy comes around the same corner not 5 seconds later to stab him. Jordy would have to have been right behind him for that to happen, so the guy shouldn't have been taken by surprise.
Okay, we got a bunch of dead bodies, right? We got 40,000 people above us. We need a distraction. I called the cops. You did? Oh, yeah, true story. So, cops arrive, and Maurice's little band of brothers arrive, and pow, 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 pow.
Jordy, tell me you're joking.
No, I called them too.
Or you could not do any of that and just leave. No one in the stadium is aware yet of the shooting that went on down here. You just made things harder for yourself by involving the police and the rest of the gang.
Great. Punctual cops.
They always are. Hacking is not done by line of sight. Pointing a digital camera at a control panel would not let you hack it. I don't care what kind of made-up video game logic you're using. Crafting, because that's the bullet point every publisher wants in their game since Minecraft. Meanwhile, I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of crafting something that causes a remote blackout. The team playing at this stadium is called the Chicago Chicagos. That's some real imaginative fake naming there, guys. I don't really want to admit why, but I once tried to block a door with a baseball bat exactly like Aiden just did. It would not fit through the handles. Payphones? In a world where everyone carries a cell phone and said cell phones can basically do anything? That's about the most unrealistic thing possible. All the innocent days of 2012, when this game was first announced and we all believed it would graphically look as promised. Little did we know what a shit show next gen would turn out to be.
Why are you sitting here? He's coming, right? Not like last time. Jackson, I did invite him. It's been so long. Are you sure you called the right number? Honey, your uncle's a different kind of person.
You know, I like my uncle, but I've never gotten upset about not being able to hang out with him.
These guys. I heard stories, man, that like nothing you ever seen before.
The audio just started adding in a reverb effect. I smell a flashback a-coming. Hey, it's the tunnel that Batman captured the Joker in during The Dark Knight. I was wondering when that would start showing up in games. This flashback hits every visual checkmark I hate about flashbacks. black and white color scheme, reverbed audio, and to finish it off they added a data moshing effect, because cyberpunk! Okay, now this is really starting to feel like that scene from The Dark Knight. Oh, falling teddy bears. Without you, no one would have a non-distressing visual for a child's death. Also, I see that Ubisoft is still sticking with the dead family members for character motivation cliche that they use in every game these days. Considering that Lena gets no character development whatsoever, they might as well just killed Aiden's dog. In fact, killing his dog would have more emotional impact. Worked in John Wick. That point when you realize that the whole hacking part of the game is just hitting a button to make something happen. Oh, and spying on people? That's just pointing your cursor at them and having the game procedurally generate a few lines of text. Job well done, guys. Job well done. Aiden's phone can be used to detect and stop crime once the victim has a high enough victim percentage. Did that sentence sound stupid to you? Because I laughed for a good while after writing it. Yellow pants, come on lady. That is one shitty looking birthday cake. No wonder there's only one slice taken out of it. So no other kids came to your party, huh? Just your mom and your uncle? I know that feel, bro.
Oh, really? Listen, the police can trace this call.
Man, I've had this exact same conversation over the phone with women so many times. And there's the other hallmark of a Ubisoft game. Unlock the map by taking control of a radio tower or some other bullshit. You guys first used that back in 2007 when you released Assassin's Creed. Come up with a new mechanic already. Walking cane, blank white eye, decrepit. This guy wouldn't be the villain, would he?
It is indeed what matters most. Here's how the world turns. Not much room for fuck-ups.
Advice that someone should have given this game's devs, or all of Ubisoft's development teams for that matter.
It wasn't.
Calm now. It's all right. Calm? Get a chance to talk to your mama? Call your friends? Your girl?
No, sir.
You can also add act reassuring and caring before killing the guy to the list of villain cliche apps that Lucky Quinn is running. Nope, not fooling me. That was not the handle of that cane knife he used since he held that like an assassin's blade from... Oh, that was the reference. That's a nice trick, but how did you pull it off? She's not holding a cell phone, so she didn't hack the sign, so she must have... what? Timed it to go off at this specific moment, even though she had no way of knowing when Aiden would show up, or that he would stand in this exact spot? And why not just say, hey, over here, like a normal person? Aiden is not going to be impressed by your monitor hacking skills. I don't really want to claim they based Clara on a porn star, because that only shows off my encyclopedic knowledge of porn stars. But I'll be damned if that's not our pre-boob job Christy Mack.
I hope I don't frighten you.
What, do you have a reason to frighten me?
Now you're being paranoid.
Hey, a French accented character in a Ubisoft game. Was that so fucking hard? Now explain why you couldn't repeat that in Assassin's Creed Unity.
You don't look 17.
If your conversation with a woman starts out with that line, you need to abort mission right away.
Do I look like a bad boy?
Now you look like a wild card.
Why would you assume someone's online persona is a description of both their age and gender? Hell, your nickname is the Fox, yet you're not a ginger.
Mysterious bad boy wants to meet me, and he is a she. He is a lie.
Aiden, I've got to say, you are not good at talking to the ladies. You ask her how old she is, you make unwanted physical contact. It's no wonder that the only girl you ever talk to is your sister.
I'm about to open your world.
Yeah. Well, you're not the first woman to promise me that.
Judging from everything you just did wrong, I'm willing to bet she is.
This is powerful.
Man, Samsung and Apple missed the best in-game advertising opportunity with this game.
You're not quite what I expected.
Yeah, you were expecting a 17-year-old boy. Man, this sin makes you sound weird. This guy has a singing trout on his wall. That's a sin against good taste. Damien used the same exact font, animation, and black background that Clara used for this hacked text message. Even pulled off the same trick of timing it perfectly for when Aiden arrived.
Tell me you miss me?
You had that punk call my sister.
You could have taken it home and drank it. Stop being so theatrical.
Blaming your family problems on me? Damien crossed the line, he made the Batman angry. What about me?
What about you?
You're not the only one suffering! They made me cripple!
I see this guy is running the Cripple and Name Damien bad guy apps.
You got nothing I need.
There was another hacker. There was a second hacker. And I know how to find him.
And that may be, Damien. But you can't do it on your own. You need me. Your big problem is... I don't need you.
Dude, this guy is offering you a solid lead on the person who got your niece killed. You're at punching your conspiracy wall levels of frustration, but rather than do the sensible thing, Aiden turns Damien down so the game can pad its length for an hour with some stupid prison inmate bullshit that accomplishes nothing. I think we can all agree that if someone hacks a billboard to display whatever they want, they're going to display Goatsy and only Goatsy.
Jordy, who are they?
Well, they live here.
What happened?
Well, security in these buildings is pretty tight. So people like this feel nice and secure living way up here. I mean, these people just had a simple chain lock on their door. I guess they want to have a good look at the pizza guy before they open it all the way.
All right, fine, sure. So about this problem.
Well, that's why I brought the bolt cutters. He opens the door this much, there's a chain right there, I slip him in and snip, and guess what? It's not the pizza guy.
I've started noticing this as another trend in Ubisoft games. There's always one supporting cast member who would make a way more interesting main character.
Pierce. Aiden. Never again!
They should really just call Aiden's cell phone a magic wand at this point. Also, your whole reason for breaking into prison was to keep the witness from giving away your description. Good job letting the cops take your mugshot.
So you're in here for 60 days. In good behavior, you're out in 30.
What? This guy is implicated in multiple shooting deaths at the stadium. Jordy even set him up by putting the gun in his hand. That only gets him 60 days? In Chicago?
What does that say?
60 years? What are you doing, man?
Not only can you hack the prison system and change a prisoner's sentence from a cell phone, it's helpfully formatted for mobile to make it easier.
You won't believe where I am. Never mind, I'll send you the feed. Find a TV and have a look.
That's Nikki's house.
How could you possibly know that these TVs are right next to Aiden? Ah, forget it. Hacking is magic in this game. That stuffed animal was left at Lena's grave, so what's it doing here? Other than helping the guy named Damien look like even more of a villain by holding it. You can't stab someone with a baton, especially the collapsible kind. Jack was sitting in a completely different seat a moment ago, and he was playing a handheld console. Now he's using a tablet.
Back at the house, did you hear those men say anything? Come on, Jax, talk to me.
On one hand, I like it that this kid doesn't talk. On the other hand, it's a child character with an emotional physical problem, which is the most annoying child character you can have. It's a cheap way to tug on the heartstrings.
Dr. Mendez speaking?
Yolanda, hi. This is Aiden Pierce, Nikki's brother.
Is everything all right?
It'd be great if we could meet in person. I'm on the train with Jax.
All right. Do you know where Nikki drops him off?
Yeah, we'll meet you there.
No, you don't. You had to ask your sister who Jack's therapist was last time, and she never mentioned the drop-off point back then. Also, why would you trust a therapist who has you drop off your kid in an L station rather than her office? There's a singing fish again. This time you can even make it sing.
Alright, Damien. Let's see if there's something you missed. Right there.
It takes Aiden all of 5 seconds to find whatever it was that Damien couldn't. I guess I'm supposed to take this as Aiden is just a better hacker, but I've seen nothing from him to make me believe that, since Damien is the one who uses the desktop all the time. Just a second ago, Clara was standing right in front of Aiden's conspiracy wall. One camera cut later and she's by the door with a divider in front of her.
Shh, shh, shh. Come here.
What's happening?
Cover your ears.
Dude, you only heard a car pull into the hotel you're staying at. There are a lot of different explanations for hearing that other than people coming to kill you, even though it is people coming to kill you.
Lost my network. I need some equipment.
Why did you need all that in the first place? So far your cell phone seems more than capable of doing everything.
Do you know this place? Somewhere near here. It's supposed to be the first test site for CTOS. It is known as the Bunker.
Bunker? One with access to the entire city?
Undetected access.
So Bloom, the people who run the CTOS just up and left this gaping hole in their network for anyone to come and manipulate? I usually only see that level of incompetence from a Kickstarter campaign, or a Steam Early Access game, or Steam.
He lives right near here. There's a homeless camp.
He's homeless?
Or you could just swim across or take a boat, but whatever, track down the old man with a remote control bridge. Suddenly I'm getting Far Cry 3 flashbacks. This guy with the bridge remote is homeless. We saw him pushing a shopping cart no less. Yet here he is playing poker in a nice neighborhood. Normally you reserve the slow motion for amazing action scenes, not flipping a poker table. That can be shown just as well in regular ass real time.
No power to the bunker. They cut it.
He didn't tell you that he wanted access to the bunker yet. I think you're reading ahead in the script.
May I have the bridge remote?
Yeah, you take it.
Great.
And Aiden just took away an old homeless man's only home.
No one asked me to stay.
Well, no one asked you to leave.
You'll need to do better than that.
I could use some help. I could use your help.
There are other and better ways to start your romantic subplot than this. This has become the staple starting romantic character interaction for pretty much every Ubisoft game now. Hell, pretty much every game in general. Far Cry Blood Dragon is not an arcade game, and neither is the impressively titled Game. 1, even though it's hard to see, that woman is still wearing her underwear, which means no sex is happening. And 2, that guy is only moving his shoulders and not his hips, which means no sex is happening.
Fucking leprechaun can suck my lucky charm.
That's racist. This guy has the Kill Your Own Henchman app installed. Anyone care to guess if he's a bad guy?
Why is he doing that? He's an assassin, Dad. Well, I mean, why is he talking to the guy he just killed? It's a confession? Well, that's just dumb.
Funny, I remember saying the same thing during my Assassin's Creed Unity video.
Now, what is it you have to do that's so involved? Work, Grandma, I got work. Oh, you got a job now.
I see that Ubisoft's developers were influenced by 90s gangster movies on what old black women act like. I'm counting 6 bottles of bleach in this scene. No matter how unclean your house may be, that is just way too much bleach.
Bedbug doesn't even mean anything. Yeah, it does. It means I'm a player. What? A bedbug can get into any lady's bed.
There is not a force on earth that would get me to talk with my grandma about that.
Hey,
What is that?
come around back and find out. Told you. He's bringing the boys.
If you froze those 2 corpses in the freezer, then Aiden shouldn't be able to smell them. Freezing kind of stops the decomposition process.
We could just do that. Do that. Yeah, it's like a practice round. What do you think, fellas? Practice round?
Jordy, I don't need a practice round.
No, just let me get a little clearer.
Jordy!
In other words, he means, just let me mysteriously disappear after the cutscene ends, even though I should really only be a few feet away.
We'll hang on to any weapons.
Losing 1 weapon in a cutscene means you lost all of your weapons. Aiden only handed over his pistol, yet this guy's metal detector doesn't pick up the baton Aiden also carries. Mannequins do not in any way class up a nightclub. The champagne room of this club is separated from the rest of the place by a thin sliding partition. You can't get your freak on comfortably like that. Hey, that's the same girl that bumped shoulders with Aiden at the beginning of the game. Small world, I guess. The handcuffs are fine, but that is in no way enough rope to properly tie up a woman. Not that I would know that kind of thing. Watch Dogs' boob rendering technology is 5 years behind Metro Last Light. You know, this place may suck as a sex club, but I bet I could order a mean milk plus.
Sorry, Mr. Crispin. We need your weapon.
Wouldn't want to be rude.
Once again, losing 1 weapon in a cutscene means you lose all of your weapons. These guys are getting ripped off at the human trafficking auction. This girl is being sold 3 different times for different prices. This girl too. And this one.
Experience has taught me not to be manipulated.
I said the same thing last year after buying both this game and Assassin's Creed Unity.
I don't detect an accent, Mr. Crispin.
The fact that Aiden doesn't have the accent of the guy he's impersonating is what tips you off? How about you looking right at him a few days ago when he was the driver for the guy you killed? Yeah, his lower mouth was covered with a scarf, but he's wearing the exact same outfit.
Tattoo.
It's a tracking device beneath the skin. It's also very efficient for business.
I can scramble it safe.
I understand putting a tracker on the girls you're trafficking, but why mark the area where you placed it with a tattoo? Take cover next to all the high explosives. Just trust me. Jack managed to trail the van he saw when his mom was kidnapped all the way across Chicago and snuck into the building full of heavily armed guards. This is some Harry Potter bullshit.
I'm like the healer.
No, you're like the annoying VIP in an escort mission. A healer actually does something useful. Do you even video game, kid?
Except that's just a game.
Just a bit of advice to game developers. When you're writing dialogue, don't compare real life in games like this. It's just like when movie characters talk about something outrageous only happening in movies.
Fucking cold, man.
Yeah, it's to cool the servers.
Supposedly it's cold in here, but I only see 2 circulating fans and no air conditioning vents.
Hey, bro, what's this shit? No,
Did you kick that door down or blow it open?
come on, cuz, that was we family. You know it wasn't me. He made me do it. What the fuck?
Hey, this thing still work?
Bedbug, you're alive.
Bedbug survives this situation. We've seen a rat kill a guy with a briefcase just for correcting him. Yet Bedbug betraying him? Well, not only does he not kill him, he just up and lets him go and gives him information that he passes on to Aiden.
Well, let's just deal with one problem at a time. All right? If I can get this information, can you decrypt it?
No, it's way beyond my skill.
Then who then?
Wow.
Wow.
Raymond Kenny.
A few clicks of the keyboard and a good old wow or take a look at this, and suddenly the computer has answered your problem.
I found someone who can decrypt the data.
I'm all ears.
His name's Raymond Kenny, an old CTOS developer. He's in Pawnee. I'm heading there now.
Pawnee is nowhere near real-world Chicago.
I don't need a drink. I own a bar.
Oh yeah, Jedediah's bar. That's you, Jedediah. In that case, you owe me a drink, buddy.
So Jed is the owner of Jedediah's bar.
Could you repeat that a few more times? I'm not really sure I got the whole Jebediah and Jebediah's bar connection, and if Kenny is headed there or not.
Pay the man. $100. Cash. Damage deposit.
$100 for shitty moonshine and a pre-bar fight damage deposit? You aren't getting much business here, are you?
What do you know about Raymond Kenny?
You know, you could have looked at an image of what Raymond Kenny looks like before you went looking for him. Then this whole drinking minigame wouldn't be necessary, since you'd already know that this is Raymond Kenny.
No appreciation for artists.
Artist my arse.
Arse. No one in America, especially the Chicago area, substitutes ass with an arse.
Then you have put me on the goddamn map.
We've been careful.
We? Better give me a reason. Because that isn't making us the best of friends.
Wait, so Aiden's name and picture up in the news is wanted by the police? Why hasn't Jake's therapist called the cops yet then? She threatened to do just that before. And what was the point of sneaking into the prison to keep the witness from IDing Aiden?
Here, you want to do the honors? Wait a second, whoa. Hang on. For my portfolio.
Yeah, I can see you're doing a real good job keeping yourself off the grid, uploading photos to Instagram and all.
Feel that? That's the weight of trillions of bytes of information at your fingertips.
Trillions of bytes of information means only a few terabytes. If you're looking through all the information in Chicago, you're going to be feeling a lot more than that.
Wow. I'm a fan.
Oh. Enchanté.
I get that Clara is French, so greeting her like this is sort of excusable, but I'm pretty certain even the French don't greet each other like that anymore. So here's another French word for you. Cliché.
Oh man, look at you. Crispin? No, wait. Pierce, right?
That's a pretty big discrepancy in wrong names. Wow. You can actually tell how bored I am by this game when I'm struggling like this to even say something funny about the bullshit in it. A game with this kind of topical subject matter should not be the most boring game I've played in years.
Iraq was protecting a tinderbox of blackmail. But he was after something bigger. He wanted the video from the Merlot job. He never did find it.
How is it that both you and Iraq both had your download of the glitchy video that's so important end up corrupted? I mean, Iraq at the very least should have the full video since he stole the blackmail from the Merlot while you and Damien bailed.
Hey, what's this? Is this off the server?
Oh, hell! Somebody's trying to hack in. We'll lose everything.
Good thing someone hacking into your server is so obvious. Makes me wonder why so many companies take so long to determine if their systems have been compromised in the real world. Just watch and see if your open windows start going crazy. Also, wasn't the whole point of the bunker that it's impossible to hack into?
There. Who is he?
Guess Ubisoft couldn't get the rights from Time Warner to use a Guy Fawkes mask. It's like Deadmau5 and Pyramid Head had a baby, and then no one immediately killed it.
I don't have the data. Damien will know the second he sees me.
Well, then just put on your poker face. He's not a mind reader.
You didn't bring my data, I didn't bring your sister.
Or maybe he is. Spinning cameras increase the suspense by a full 20%.
Next time I see you, if you don't have my data, she's dead.
Oh no, you've just revealed Aiden's identity. That was totally known to both the media and the police already. Damien doesn't seem to get the notion that if Aiden is captured or killed by the cops he just sicked on him, he won't get his hands on Iraq's blackmail. Default, the Deadmau5 wannabe, created a 3D perspective drawing in his apartment that only makes sense when seen from his webcam. Really? I can find mobos like that on Newegg with a few mouse clicks.
Oh, and I found a 6-gig USB stick full of lesbian porn. You want that too?
Yes. Why does Aiden have to hack people's cell phones to locate default server? He's right up there DJing the party. Nikki shoots the guard that comes in to check on her, and none of the other guards hear it. This is after Aiden blew up the junction box and killed the first guard. And there are plenty of guards right outside this room. This is a stealth mission, by the way.
Not to spoil the plans, but company's on the way. Chicago police just got a big tip on the vigilante.
They already know who the vigilante is. It was on the news. You broadcast it citywide over billboards. Nikki's house should have been swarming with cops without you calling in a tip.
Yolanda said she's gonna call the police on you.
Oh.
Tell me you were set up. Tell me.
I found him. The man who hurt her. I know who it is.
Not yet you don't. You haven't looked through Iraq's blackmail files. But let's not expect too much. It's going to be Lucky Quinn.
It's over. For you guys.
But not for you.
Of course not. There's like at least 3 more games Ubisoft is going to milk out of this.
Just be careful, he's doubled his men. I think he's expecting you.
Good.
He literally only doubled his men.
You don't even know why we attacked you. It was a mistake. We thought you wanted this.
Did you just have to rewind a digital video?
What a lovely woman, Rose Washington. Wasn't for her death, where would I be? Most women die without purpose. But she had enough sense to die in front of the camera. See, and our mayor, never tidy with his secrets.
So that blurry video that we've spent the entire game trying to figure out is just a video of the mayor killing his girlfriend? I'm actually impressed. I expected nothing, yet I'm still disappointed.
Haven't you heard? I'm the vigilante. I clean up mess like you.
If you would have said that in more of a loud, Batmanish growl, I would have taken off a couple of sins. Clara doesn't notice all the heavily armed men taking up position right in front of her. How that second bullet hit Clara is beyond me, since she's clearly in cover and all the fixers are on the other side of the tombstone. I've seen this shootout in the cemetery scene in more movies and games than I care to mention. Suddenly it turned to dust just so Clara's death could have a perfect emotional setting. I speak for everyone who's ever played this game when I say, fuck this mission. Fuck this mission in particular. Since the beginning of this game, Aiden has had the ability to start a blackout with a push of a button. For whatever reason, this time he has to hack a satellite to do it.
Play a beautiful game, but sometimes you still lose. Blah, blah, blah. Jesus, you guys talk a lot.
There's Jordy again with his off-screen teleportation. There's only one ladder leading up to this lighthouse catwalk, and it's right behind Aiden, and Jordy certainly wasn't hiding up there. Aiden's phone can now blow up lighthouse lamps. I was okay with it blowing up junction boxes and transformers. That is all connected to computers after all. But a fucking lighthouse lamp from before computers were used? Come on! No, not the only interesting character.
You don't look 17.
Do I look like a bad boy?